So Liam, you're taking this immersion into Irish country life up to new levels this week.
Yeah, I would consider myself a bit of a gentleman farmer now.
What are the qualifications for gentleman farmer?
Did I not cut the hay? Did I not rake the hay? And did I not bale the hay? No, I did not bale the hay. Sorry, we have people to bale the hay. But I did bring the hay into the barn. Look, what do I have to prove? There's videos of it.
Let's roll the footage. Okay, John, how do you do?
Pretty good. So.
I think he thinks he did a great job.
He may not be suited to the agricultural business now. may not be. He may be more suited to priesthood or something. But he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's very willing. He's very willing.
So he gets the A for effort.
Yeah, he gets an A for effort.
Well, thank you, John.
You know, to be fair,
well, the field looks great.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
And is this going to be hay or silage?
We're hoping for hay now. So the thing with hay is you have to try and cut it dry. You need a good dry day. The grass needs to be dry when you're cutting it, and you need 5 good days together if you can.
Okay.
The better the days, the better the hay.
And so the forecast is looking good.
The forecast is looking pretty good up to next Sunday, and today is Monday. So we have 6 good days coming. So hopefully it'll be okay. So there'll be a good bit of work now with turning it and getting it ready before the baler. Do you know that kind of way? So I'm sure Liam will try and help out again. Do you know what I mean?
I can guarantee it.
You have to keep an eye on him. That's all. But he's very willing. But he may not be suited to this industry. So.
Good to know.
Yeah.
We'll break it to him gently.
Yeah.
It's ready.
Huh?
So I saw you cutting the hay. I saw you raking the hay. What else did you do in that?
Well, I hired people to bale it because you need a baler and I don't own a baler, but it's on the list.
Oh, wish list.
Yeah. Amazon, I heard you can buy one on Amazon.
Is I happen to remember seeing Johnny hauling the bales.
Oh, well, he helped me. Of course, I needed help. You can't run a farm on your own, for God's sake.
So what do you use all this hay for? Because you got 4 bales off of your field. There looks like a lot more than that here. But.
Well, yeah, because I helped. There's other fields that I helped with. There's Ballycarron and there's that other one down there, which I can't tell you what the name is. Got to remember. But yeah. There's. Look this is a full-time job.
I'm glad you're taking it so seriously.
Of course.
But you know what? This is not your first foray into hay harvesting, is it?
No. Quite a few years ago, I helped some cousins bring in the hay. And at the time, my cousin Michal, may he rest in peace, he gave me a fork and they were doing square bales at the time. And he said, "Don't forget your camera." So I put my camera over my neck.
I have a feeling Michal was setting you up for a bit of a great scene when you arrived.
Well, I'd say it wasn't a field. Now I know it was a setup. And I landed with my camera on my neck and my fork. And I went into the field and I waved to my cousins. And the look, this is the look I got. Oh, Jesus. That's exactly the look. But I'll tell you, I proved myself. I forked bales for like 3 days.
And when you say forked bales,
no, 2 days. Like square. They were square bales. They were
like a pitchfork,
right? And they were square bales. And the ones on the outside are the heavy ones. And I was going to prove myself that I could do the heavy ones. And then you fork them over to the wagon and you load them up.
So it's like it's not just like scooping hay. You're scooping a whole bale.
And you're holding it over your shoulder like this, and then you're bringing it over to the wagon. Well, I went along the edge, and my back has never been the same. That's why we went to machinery. That's why we do this all now by machine.
Very good.
Well,
Very
the people that I employ.
Now, you did make hay, and John did explain to us how to make hay, but normally in Ireland, silage would be very popular. Tell us the difference between hay and silage.
Well, silage, they cut the grass and it's actually baled wet. And so it ferments. It's wrapped in plastic. We see it in America too. The tubes of silage or bales of silage. But it's always wrapped in like white plastic or black plastic. And that can be fed to the cows too. But I think a lot of people prefer hay.
Well, usually, I think the general consensus, and correct me if I'm wrong, there tends to be different nutrients in dried hay than there is in the fermented hay. And historically, in the U.S. and here, there would be like a three-sided roofless pen type of thing. So it'd just be a three-sided big pen, like the size of a barn.
Excuse me, stop. Who's the farmer here? Like, he hasn't farmed for years.
Well, I'm just saying, then you'd cover it a lot of times with plastic and tires on top of that. So you've seen that before, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. And then you have to be careful though with silage because it heats up though, because as it's fermenting, there sometimes can be fires in the silage.
Right, yeah, because it gets really warm because it's packed so tight.
And it's fermenting.
Now, fermenting hay is not the same as fermenting barley, and that's another whole story, but we'll go into another story.
That must be the other side of gentleman farmers.
Yeah, I like that part of it, much the fermenting of barley much more than the fermenting of hay. But hey, you got to make a living, so.
Well, while Liam was harvesting hay, I was also working with grass. I got a special toy, a strimmer. Now, here in Ireland, strimmer is kind of the term used for a string trimmer, which we would call a weed whacker.
Yeah.
And that thing, I went to town with it, and it's working really great. I got a battery-operated one. I got the Black & Decker because I followed the first rule of battery-operated power tools. Stick with the brand you have because then all your batteries are interchangeable. So I have the drill and I have the hedger. And
a new toy for him. As long as he had a new toy, he left me alone so I could do my farming.
Yeah, he's such a diligent farmer. We need to talk to John more about how much you can teach everyone on farming.
I'm telling you, I think I told John a few things, a thing or two.
You told him a few things. I don't know if you taught him anything.
I taught him a few. I wanted to say I taught him a few things. Ask him the next time. He'll tell you.
We definitely will be getting John in here. And when it comes to growing skills, I will say that rose you planted, looking fantastic.
Yeah. That was the day that I fell, but yes, it's looking great.
Even with an injury, you managed to get that rose in there, lots of new buds, so I'm very impressed.
And I put it where he told me he didn't want it. I put it there anyway, and it's doing great.
Well, I hope it's there next year, because that's my hope there. And Liam insisted on trying something new. Remember, I was complaining about the weeds in the driveway?
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. And it works. The weeds in the driveway, and of course, Roundup. Over here, you have to have special equipment and you have to be licensed to spray it, whatever, there's all sorts of things. But anyway, I read about taking vinegar, salt, and washing up liquids like Dawn.
And some of you had recommended this as well.
Yeah, like Dawn dish soap or whatever kind. And I mixed up a sprayer full of it and sprayed some weeds in the front on the gravel. And within 4 hours, they were dead. It was great. Seriously, it was great. That was between all the work I was doing here. Between that and planting and everything. And
now, I'm not entirely convinced on the vinegar thing.
It worked.
Here's the thing. It did kill the surface of it, but I noticed if you look at it now, there is growth coming, especially from the grass and a couple specific plants. So that's important to note that you probably have to reapply a couple times.
Taking my thunder.
Taking
my thunder.
Just want it to be realistic. I don't want to tout something and be like, it's perfect. It's not perfect. And also,
what is perfect?
And I do want to remind everybody that putting vinegar and salt on your soil, those are chemicals. So don't underestimate that you are using some chemicals on it. But if your alternative is, say, Roundup or a severe herbicide,
yeah, but it's just gravel. It's gravel. Like
on our gravel yard. But you could use the same argument. Then why not just use the
Roundup, because it's poisonous and I don't want to get sick.
It is, and it can get into the groundwater and all that. So
anyway,
gosh, Liam, good job. Thank you for that suggestion. I'm really glad we
don't patronize me. I hate when I'm being patronized.
Now, we did a lot of other things this week too. Like, it wasn't this week actually. It was the week before.
Because I've been working like off.
Before the hay, though, we did go up to the local church. There was a little cleaning bee going on, so we went out there.
There's a great little church, the Church of the Little Flower. And it's a small little church up in the hills. It would be our parish church. And it's just a beautiful church. And there was a wedding coming up on the weekend. And so our neighbor asked us, could we go down and help sweep up the front and hoove the inside and wipe the pews down and stuff. And it was a real community event, and I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, and I went and I weeded the flowers a little bit and put a little bit of compost down, just to tidy it up. And the family was the sacristan told us that the family was so impressed.
Very happy.
With it.
Yeah,
so to everybody who did that cleanup.
Yeah, the church is a beautiful little place. I'm sure he'll show pictures to you.
Yeah, they also had the mass in the cemetery, which is something I wouldn't be as familiar with. And what is that?
Yeah, well, every year they have all the churches around will have mass in the graveyard, and it's just a kind of a way to remember the dead and people that have passed on. And like I said, being here almost 40 years, I said, I swear to God, I know as many people in the graveyard as I do in the mass. But it's just a really nice community event, and we had mass in the graveyard outside. The weather was kind of dramatic. It wasn't raining, it was kind of dramatic. And then after, the ladies had buns and biscuits, cookies, tea, hot tea,
brown bread and brack bread.
This is a wonderfully strong community up here, and I can't say enough good things about the people of Creany. I really mean it. It's a great community.
And then the turf that we had turned in that previous video, that was delivered.
That was delivered.
And thank goodness we had a neighbor. She came up on her bicycle.
Lucy.
And Lucy was a great help in helping us unload that turf.
She really helped us. She did a great job. I'm telling you, these kids up here, they can. Well, I tell you something. That little girl in another 50 years can say that she helped draw on the turf, and there's not many people anymore that can say that, but she can. No, she's a great help. Great help.
And so we got that in there, and we had just put it in a spot in the yard, but then we were looking at it, and one thing that we were told is that this year the turf from that bog wasn't as good as usual. It was a little crumbly.
A little crumbly, yeah.
So then I did go through on what ended up being the hottest day of the year, and I took all the bigger pieces and I stacked them in the shed. And I'd never stacked turf before, so I have no idea if I did it right.
No, he did a good job. I have to say, I'm sorry, I wasn't there to help. I was busy with all this.
You were painting inside. You wouldn't go out.
No, the painting.
It was too delicate because it was so hot.
The painting was not that. Oh, it was that day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, okay. After I did all this work, then I had to paint. It never stops here.
And we had quite a heat wave, and it was, between 70 and 80 degres, which in Ireland is hot.
Is a heat wave.
Yeah, and we have acclimated to Irish weather, so we were sweating.
It was hot.
And I know people back home are way warmer than we are, but hey, I felt definitely. Ugh.
Yeah.
I also, did you know, I saw a pheasant in the yard as well.
What is it?
A pheasant.
A pheasant. Oh, like
a bird.
Like the bird.
Yes. Remember, words are hard.
Not so hard for me. I have no problem talking.
Yeah, they kind of just fall out of your mouth. But I just thought, hey, there's a pheasant, because we do see them around here every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's like we can hear the cuckoo, but they're gone.
No, the cuckoo's gone already. But
I did hear in the first week.
Yeah, the first week. It's very cool. It goes cuckoo, cuckoo.
I mean, sounds like a cuckoo clock. It's pretty crazy.
Cuckoo.
Oh, stop. The painting wasn't the only thing that you had used a brush for.
No. What else did I use a brush for?
You did your doors.
Oh, my doors.
The half doors.
Oh, the half doors. Oh my God. I'm so busy that I can't even remember what I did the day before.
Can't keep all these
serious jobs. Yeah, no, I varnished all my half. I have 2 half doors that are going to go in next summer. And I spent several days varnishing them, and they're still not done. I still have another at least 3 or 4 coats to go on some of the parts of the doors.
Yeah. So
their half doors are Dutch doors. They're the best. I think we should all have them in America too. The bottom stays closed, the top opens up, the light comes in, the sun comes in. It's fantastic.
It is nice.
I recommend half doors.
It keeps animals out, really. Is what
it keeps animals, but not flies. They're everywhere.
There's no stopping them. And I don't think you told anybody about the big prize you won.
Oh, we went to a social dancing evening, which was absolutely a blast. People in their 70s and 80s, and some really, really good dance was really good. And I like to dance, but boy, I was put to shame. So I bought some raffle tickets, just because they were selling raffle tickets, and my number was called first thing. And I didn't hear it. And so Corey said, it's your number. And so you had a choice. I had to go up and I had to pick. There was a box of chocolates or a bottle of whiskey. And it was such a hard decision. I stood there for the longest time.
But you said those calories are no good for me.
Chocolate can be put on the weight, where whiskey, when it's handled respectively, can also put on weight. But I didn't care. I picked up the bottle of whiskey and grabbed that bottle of whiskey and ran.
Liam always says he never wins anything.
I won a bottle of whiskey.
I
bought a bottle of whiskey, and I hope it continues that I keep winning.
You'll always be a winner, Liam.
To you?
To all of us and everyone watching. And then we had to go change out our car because we had our contract was for so many days and we have to switch out the car. And so we went to Shannon Airport, and on the way home, we made a stop in Tuamagraney in County Clare.
Oh, Tuamagraney, yeah. It's like in America, they have flea markets. In Ireland, they have what's called boot sales, because the back of your car is called the boot and the front of your car is called a bonnet. And but they have these boot sales, and people bring their cars in and they open up the boot and they sell stuff out of them, or they have stalls inside this horse equestrian center. And it's just like bits and pieces. It could be plants, it could be trees, it could be china, it could be old tools, and
could be clothes. There's also some that sell like washing up liquid and detergents and things like that. You never know what you're going to find.
And there's several. There's Callan and Kilkenny, which is a big one. There's Tuamagraney, which is in Clare. There's also I don't know. There's several of them. Oh, Fettered is my favorite though. I will say that Fettered in Tipperary is my favorite. And Margaret Mullins runs it. Her and her husband used to run it. He's since passed. May he rest in peace. And she runs it with her family, and it's one of my favorite. I think it's my favorite boot sale. I have to be honest. I really think it's my favorite.
We did hear about another one in maybe Offaly somewhere. So County Offaly. So
yeah, we might have to try that one sometime.
Yeah, we got to track that one down. But you did find some things.
I did. I found 4 teacups and saucers, blue willow, which obviously I probably don't need 4 more teacups and saucers, but I did find them and they were the right price. And so I came home with those.
And that booth was being run as a fundraiser for...
It was a community center. They were doing up in some, not in Tuamagraney, it was a different place, but they were doing up this, they were just raising funds. So it was people that donated items. So I really felt good about buying them from them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So it's been a very productive week. We've had a lot of fun, doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We're kind of coming to the wind down of the trip. So we got
which is
lots
kind
more
of
to get
sad,
done.
But lots more to get done, but we're getting there, and lots of visiting, hello, goodbye things, the Irish goodbye, hello, goodbye. But we've got some nights set up for us, and we're really looking forward to it, because again, just wonderful people. So
yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Do leave a comment, and we'd like to hear what you think of Liam's role as a gentleman farmer. You know what this reminds me of? You were driving that tractor and all.
Yes.
That wasn't your first time driving a tractor, was it?
No. There was one other time.
I'd love to hear that story.
Oh, God. Well,
so would your sister, and so would your cousin Sandra, and your cousin
and so my
Tim.
cousin Tim. No, this was quite a few years ago, and my cousin Tim, down the road a bit, wanted me to jumpstart the tractor. So he was going to pull me, and then I was to... Yeah, he was going to pull me, and then I was to pop the clutch and get going and step on the brake. So he's pulling me. I pop the clutch, get the tractor going, and I'm standing on the brake. I'm both feet are on the brake, and it's not stopping, and it crashed right into his tractor, the back of his tractor, smashed all the lights on the tractor I was in, the 2 headlights as well as the grill and everything. And he jumped off. He said, "What was the problem? Why didn't you stop? You step on the brake, step on the brake." I said, "I was stepping on the brake." And so I showed him, and he said, "That's not the brake. That's the footrest." He said it was just like driving a car. Well, guess what? Cars don't have footrests. Tractors do. Or that tractor did. So I don't do that anymore. I have somebody else start the tractor and I drive it.
And that wasn't the end of it, because then Tim also said, we're going to try it again.
We're going to do it again. I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it. He had me do it again. If I can't stop the thing, then I drive. There was a dairy on the left side, the gable end of the sitting room on the right side, the narrow area. I said, I'm going to smash into the sitting room if I can't stop it, because I'm not going over the cliff, and I don't want to knock into the dairy because that's their livelihood. Luckily, I then knew where the brake was. I stopped it, and all was right with the world, except several thousand euros worth of damage to his tractor. It's his own fault. I didn't want to do it. I told him I didn't want to do it.
We never let him live that one down.
Yeah. Now I'm very good on the tractor, as you can see in all the videos.
Okay, so now we want to hear your comments about Liam's gentleman farmer persona.
Yeah, tell me. Don't you think
you need a cap? Where's your pipe? What about a jacket?
I never said I was a squire. I said I was a gentleman farmer. Jesus, got me. He's elevating me here.